Pirates. I feel like I could make a script full of lame pirate puns and jokes, but I'm actually gonna save you from that, landlubber. This was a viewer challenge with another comment saying it was possible to get it done in 5 days, but I can't find that comment now, actually. But let me tell you, this was as challenging as can be. I quickly realized 5 days is probably the actual limit to how fast this scenario can be done, so let's just get into it. Can I do pirates in 5 days? This is a medium-sized map where we are dropped off on the west coast, homeless and cold, taking on 4 different AI colors. Orange, the barbarians in the southwest, purple, tower wizards in the southeast, castle-dwelling teal in the center, and Shrek-loving fortress playing tan in the northeast. There's a variety of artifacts and treasures, both behind the white border guard and on the middle island, where the white keymaster's tent is also located. These are way too slow to get, however, so we're just gonna ignore those. To start our journey off, we get a starting army consisting of 30 pikemen and centaurs, 20 archers and 15 wood elves, no matter who our starting hero is. We have 2 options from the get-go. Take the random neutral town in the north, or go directly for the AI in the south. Obviously, as we're going fast, we skip the neutral town and use our army to take on our adversaries. If we're fast enough, we can take advantage of some of the AI's tendencies on this map. If we break through the zone guard to orange on day 1, they will always be around their town, making them easier to find and reach so I can take them on as early as possible. Purple will almost always be around their rallying flag on day 3, not defending their town. Teal will almost always leave their town unguarded and explore towards the zone guard to Tan's territory. But Tan, they can be quite unpredictable. Sometimes they're around the same zone guard, and sometimes they're off towards the lizardman dwelling. So I need to be a bit lucky with their pathing. Since I need to hit these day breakpoints to take advantage of their tendencies, I need a fast hero, a logistics hero. Our starting hero starts at level 5, giving us the opportunity to start with expert logistics. And since we have some levels, a logistics specialist would be advantageous. I tested all 3. Dessa is a magic hero, which makes him lose too much army in fights compared to the other 2. Gunner, with his tactics and might stats, is great, but the best choice would be Kier, as she, and yes, Kier is a she. If you plan on commenting that Kier is a he, I suggest you read her hero bio, as she is a might hero and starts off with archery, making the starting ranged creatures better. However, I couldn't find a seed with everything I needed using Kier as my hero, so I will play as Gunner, as he got me what I needed. But what do I actually need? After taking on Orange, I need enough gold to hire multiple heroes, among them someone fast enough to reach Teal's town before day 6. Worth noting, only Orange's town has a tavern pre-built, so if I want to hire heroes in any other towns, I need wood, which isn't that easy to come by quickly. I also need the neutral guards around the map, who are mostly tier 3 creatures, to be beatable without bleeding too much army. Since we get this big of a starting army, there's also a decent chance we get some joiners along the way. There isn't all that much more to say. All we need is a bit of luck and good execution. Let's see if we got what it takes. Alright, so me as a gunner, check. Every other faction is already set, so check, I guess. Gold bonus for all, as I need gold, check. Let's get that booty. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. In order to get a seed with everything I need, I make my way to the nearby gold mine guard and reset 7 times. This gives me Gunner with expert logistics and expert tactics, my preferred combination. I pick up the sulfur blocking my path, eventually taking on the zone guards of serpent flies, who are delighted to join me in search for greater glory. These fast boys make a lot of this possible. I get 1 step into Orange's zone before ending day 1. On day 2, I pass by the already flagged sawmill and find an orange hero at the road junction, Gretchen, who already has rocks. Dang. I set up my army, then take her on. Army preservation is needed here, so Otto's win has to be discarded. This is where Gunner's tactics come in clutch. I can use my melee creatures to completely wall in my shooters, while also sending one single pikeman away as bait before the battle even begins. After fight start, I wait with everything, Gretchen waits with everything, and I have to make the first move, hitting her big goblin stack with my archers. I defend with my pikemen, then hit the goblins, who are now in full damage range of my elves. Unfortunately, the rocks ignore the pikeman and get in range of my bigger stacks, so I might take some losses here. I don't really care much about the pikemen, so it's fine. And I even hit the goblins again with my elves, who themselves take out a couple more pikemen. The lone pikeman is killed, and I can start laying it into the rocks, killing first one, then the remaining two with the combined might of the archers, pikemen and centaurs. The serpent flies take out the goblins, before I get some bad morale from having 3 or more different faction creatures on the same team without leadership. Thankfully, it doesn't matter as the weak wolf riders are finished off the same turn anyway. -9 pikemen is a good enough result for me. Gunnar finds his way to Orange's unguarded town, vanquishing them, and leaves everything but the 18 flies in town, heading straight back out towards purple. On the way, some sprites even want to join, who are also speed 9 creatures, not slowing Gunnar down compared to the flies. A very successful day 2 can be finished. Day 3, and Gunnar picks up 1500 gold from a chest, then finds another chest, also giving 1500 gold. This gives me enough to hire a second hero, Merlanda, who takes the 30 centaurs before getting the final chest of this zone, containing another 1500 gold. So I hire a third hero, Lorelei. She takes all of the town army and travels over to Gunnar, who trades her, swapping armies entirely. Using this worse army, Gunnar attacks the orc chieftains blocking the path. Otto's result here is honestly pretty good, so let's take a look at how we only lost the slow, useless gnolls. As always, he's just sending every melee creature in like they're worthless. The orc chieftains apparently think the gnolls are a big threat and laser focus on them. Fine by me. The ranged creatures whittle the orcs down, letting my melee guys throw hands more easily. We can also again see the effect of multiple faction creatures on the morale, as there's low morale across the board. Eventually though, my army comes out victorious. Nice job, Otto. Continuing along the road, some familiars are in the way. Otto wins lossless, and I could just accept, but I feel like I skip too many fights sometimes, so maybe it's better to see the fights? Tell me what you think. This fight is entirely forgettable though, as the familiars are just swept aside like the weaklings they are. Easy peasy. Gunnar continues east, swinging by the rallying flag, finding a purple hero right there. Dermith is looking pretty weak, so with basically no movement left, I take her on. Otto loses harpies, which I can't afford to do, so this one is a manual one. The only creatures I really care about are the harpies and wood elves, so I move the less important creatures forward towards the gargoyles to hopefully bait them in alongside the gremlins. After some waiting, I hit the golems with the archers and gargoyles with the lizardmen, before Dermith takes the bait. I notice that the gargs can reach the archers and hit them with the elves, but underestimate them the next turn, instead shooting the golems. The gargoyles then pounce, killing one archer. Now this fight devolves into an absolute fiesta, so prepare mentally. After a harpy attack, low morale strikes, and the gremlins swipe away 4 lizardmen. Since my elves are blocked, I move them back away from golem reach, but the gargoyles follow, dying to a retaliation. I move back with the harpies, archers and pikemen as well, before the lizardmen are killed off. More low morale happens, so I'm not killing as many creatures as I need. I even risk the harpies by hitting the golems, low rolling the damage enough to leave 3 golems alive, which kill one of my harpies. Not good. Thankfully, the wood elves can shoot next turn, reducing the gremlin stack to half. But the harpies freeze. Great. Archers kill more gremlins, pikemen take out 2 more golems, wood elves finish off the golems, and the harpies end the fight by taking out the gremlins. This was Not well played by me, but oh well. Gunnar heads back towards the rallying flag, Lorelei does as well, and Merlanda sets her sights on the purple town. Day 4, Gunnar rallies the flag, as does Lorelei, and they meet up for a trade. Gunnar gets everything but the harpies, which Lorelei keeps for herself. The Wood Elves guarding Teal's zone are not worth fighting, as they pose a bit of an army bleed risk, so we skip those and move north, finding some battle dwarves blocking the road. As long as I don't lose any sprites, serpent flies or Wood Elves, I will be satisfied. Pikemen are sent in as bait, again. Archers and Wood Elves are sent forward to get full damage range. Flies and sprites are kept away, and now I can just start firing at range, sacrificing the pikemen to the dwarves. It doesn't take many rounds until the dwarves are shown that if you mess with the bull, you get the horn. Easy fight. Gunnar makes his way towards Tan's territory, and I can take out the Wood Elves, but if I do, what happens on the AI's turn won't happen. Before ending his day, Gunnar dismisses the slow creatures and hands the reins to Lorelei, who goes directly for Teal's town, and Merlanda travels a bit. We see Teal taking on the Wood Elf guard for me, probably losing some army, and staying fairly close to the road. Lucky for me. I move a bit north with Gunnar, also finding a Tan hero on the road. Perfect. Teal's handsome man, Christian, is first on the chopping block. No tactics this time, straight to business. I wait with the flyers, hitting the archers with my Wood Elves before the griffins have flown into range. 3 combined hits from the flies and the sprites kill off the griffins, before the serpent flies immediately fly in for a hit on the archers. The only remaining archer then dies to a retaliation, leaving only the pikemen alive. So it's smooth sailing from this point. A few hits from my overwhelmingly powerful army, and Christian is done. Some minor losses, but overall satisfactory. 2 tiles away is Tiva, with an underwhelming army. Still, Otto loses way too much. I can't risk there being some other stronger Tan hero somewhere, so this is manual labor time. I move all my stacks down to bait in Tiva's wyverns while keeping out of lizardman range. After waiting, the wyverns fly in, getting a nice arrow as a welcoming gift. A couple of sprites die to a lizardman shot, but are still strong enough to take out a wyvern afterwards. The 18 flies finish them off, and both the flyers fly in on the lizardmen, making quick work of them. Wood Elves just one-shot the gnolls, ending the fight. Tiva down. Gunnar inches forward towards Tan's town, looking for any other heroes. Not finding any, so he walks into their unguarded town, vanquishing them. Tan being the second color down was not how I envisioned this scenario going. Merlanda attacks the hobgoblins blocking the road to Purple's town, and Otto wins convincingly, so let's take a look. The sheer number of centaurs in the stack alongside their relatively decent defense makes this an absolute cakewalk. Purple's town is also unguarded, so Merlanda can just vanquish them as well. Lorelei heads for Teal's town, and by not making any missteps and following the road precisely, she can just barely reach the town, finding it guarded by few swordsmen. Otto wins again, and this is not exactly a tactical fight, so I just let him do it. This is a pure I hit you, you hit me kind of fight, and it gets pretty close. If I had just a couple fewer harpies here, Lorelei would probably lose this fight. So it was really important to not lose any more harpies in the Dermith fight. But 2 whole harpies survive, and there are no more Teal heroes, so Teal, they're vanquished as well. And this means that I'm victorious in 5 days, just like I was hoping for. 448 score and Archangel rank is very good. Gotta say, this was really difficult to map out, so I'm very satisfied. I had a couple of attempts with Kier, being very close to doing this with a different strategy, but I was always some starting gold away from achieving the 5 days. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I enjoyed playing, at least after finding the correct strategy. Until then, it was frustrating. If you made it all the way here, I would really appreciate a like, comment and a subscription. You can even become a channel member as well, getting access to my videos a couple of days early. I hope to see you next time and that you have a might and magically good day. Bye bye. As always, a huge thank you to all my channel members, as well as an extra special shout out to my Ballista channel members, Escubani, Lika, Van Lunis, Rick Vissout, and Kat. I appreciate your support so much.